What's up, guys? Welcome back to Wrestle Fury, and welcome to the first episode of the Juicy Bits. As today we talk about Raw, and let me tell you guys, WWE Raw was epic. It felt like a big deal. It was just such a huge show. So many big names, epic returns. I mean, this was a must-see show. So we're going to talk about some of the juicy bits, the things that I felt that made it must-see TV. And ironically, let's start out with The Miz because, well, you know, The Miz always says he's must-see TV. And this little bit that featured said Logan Paul and Seth freaking Rollins was must-see. Indeed, absolutely. Freaking the crowd was eating it up like a bag of potato chips. I mean, the crowd just are loving Seth freaking Rollins. They're singing the song. Everyone's like, whoa! Everyone's doing that just non-stop. And then the heel heat on Logan was insane. And Logan, I'm glad that he's finally embracing his evil side, his dark side, because now instead of him attempting to be a face, him embracing the heel side, that's positive, man. And I think he makes a great heel. So this was fantastic. At the end of the day, though, poor Miz just, you know, he can't catch a break, man. He just keeps getting kicked in the face all over the place. He ends up laid out. But the big thing here is Logan managed to get one lucky punch on Seth and lay Seth out. Seth was out like a light. So this was a fantastic segment. It was great to see them starting to build that WrestleMania match, and it was just so good, so juicy. Freaking loved the segment. I mean, that segment was an easy 10 out of 10 by itself. Cena in Theory, another great one. Cena returned, guys. Cena was just so emotional. He was just overwhelmed with joy. He looked like he was just really overtaken by the moment and happy to be back in the WWE ring, which we are happy to have him back, because something about John Cena, you know, just makes everything that much better. And he proved it today with those super promo skills that he has. Man, it was so good. The promo that he did against Theory was so good, telling Theory why we don't like him, that we don't believe him, that we don't think that he has earned the right to even call out John Cena. You know, he's telling Theory that, you know, and all these things. And at first it looked like he wasn't going to do the match. You know, he said, no. John Cena was not. You haven't earned the right to freaking be calling me out, basically is what he's saying. But then John Cena got caught in Theory's web. Theory is like, oh, what? What about hustle, loyalty, respect? All these things. What? You don't have respect? You don't, you know, there's no loyalty, there's no belief, there's no this, never give up. You giving up, John? He played it just perfectly, and then the audience got involved, and John was like, look, you've got them involved now, I'll never give up on them. So he's like, do you guys want to see this at WrestleMania? Of course the crowd went nuts, and so now officially it's going to be Cena and Theory at WrestleMania. So WrestleMania already is just shaping up to be probably one of the greatest of all time, even though The Rock has let us down. That's the video for another day. But continuing, Edge was on the show as well, the Rated R Superstar. He came in, freaking took care of Finn with a spear, and he let Finn know that it's not over, it's not over. Always good to see Edge. Always another great point when Edge is just like Cena. There's certain people, they come in the show, their charisma, everything about them just elevates the whole show that much more, and Edge is one of those guys. Bobby Lashley had a little quick backstage segment. He's talking, he's like tired of the games, this and that, calling Bray not man enough to actually show up, and this and that and the other. And then while he was talking, so, you know, Bray's images started showing up in the back and things like that. I was hoping we was going to get at some point tonight Bray making an appearance or something. That didn't happen. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on SmackDown, because I think we will get a little Bray action and satisfaction, because I love Bray. All right, moving on, guys. Another very juicy bit was Trish actually announcing that she's no longer retired. As of that moment, she was like, I could stay retired, and I could easily no longer be retired. And she's like now telling Bayley it's on like Donkey Kong. So WrestleMania has just gotten that much more incredibly awesome, because now we've got Lita, we've got the Man, which both of them, Lita and the Man, in case you haven't been following along, are now the tag team women champions. And we got Trish. We got a 3-on-3 match coming against Damage Control and Bayley. That's going to be good. It's going to be really, really good. I hope that we get to see a lot more Lita and Trish, because look, they still got it, dude. They've got the look still. They look great. Their energy is great. They still know how to use the mic and drop those promos. They're a great addition. And I think that, hey, man, if they could still go, let them go, man. Let them freaking be out there, because the women's division definitely needs a little extra star power right now. I think this is a good thing. So, happy for that. Let's talk about another juicy point. Cody Rhodes. He ended up coming to save Sammy. The way that happened, and I'm sweating, guys. I apologize if I'm doing a lot of this and that. My fingers, I got sweat in my stuff. Trying to keep the fans off so that we get better audio. And Lord have mercy. I've got so much sweat in my eyes right now. It ain't funny. It is so hot right now. Summer where I'm at right now. And it is freaking crazy hot in the studio, aka van life. Life of the van life. If you don't know about that, go to my main channel and follow my van life adventures. Anyways, Cody came to the rescue of Sammy. The way that happened is Jay showed up. Jay swerved everybody, made them all think that he was picking Sammy over his brother Jimmy, and they give this really big hug and everything. They're pointing ones up in the air, and just when you thought that, oh my gosh, like the crowd was just so like emotionally involved, they were like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Yes, Jimmy is in the ring, like, oh, just can't believe his eyes. He's all heartbroken, that his brother has chosen Sammy. The crowd are loving it though. And just when you thought that this was like, wow, this is crazy, what a game-changing moment, Jay absolutely swerves everybody and kicks the hell out of Sammy, man. He kicks the hell out of Sammy. And then Sammy ends up getting beat down by Jimmy, by Solo, by Jay. They're just freaking just beating him down in the ring. And we already know Kevin wasn't coming, because KO's already made it very clear that he ain't want nothing to do with Sammy, basically. But surprisingly, we got the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And that was so cool, man. That was so cool to see Cody come down and rescue Sammy. So it's going to be very interesting, because there was a part where Cody was talking backstage with KO. So maybe talking some sense into him, I don't know. So very interested to see what we get over the next upcoming weeks leading to WrestleMania with all these characters involved. The other thing I liked was there was a segment where John Cena was walking back up the ramp, and he actually said, look, there's someone who is definitely worthy of you seeing at WrestleMania and ready for WrestleMania. And then Cody's music hits and Cody comes out, and they have this huge just, show of love for each other and respect and all that. And that was really cool to see, because, you've heard people like always refer to John as one of their inspirations and one of the reasons why they got into wrestling or this and that. And Cody's, basically, said those type of things, the respect that Cody has. It's kind of funny because Cody's at that place where he's also just about becoming, that legend status, if you will, himself. He's now been in the game for a minute, so he's starting to get to that point where younger people are going to start looking up to him and being like, hey, Cody's the reason why I got into the game. It's quite interesting to see, just the progression, of all these characters, especially if you've been watching wrestling for a very long time. It's just so cool to see that these, now in their prime, wrestlers are now meeting their idols and showing them love. When you remember once upon a time it was Cena meeting their idols and doing the same thing. and then you see Theory saying that Cena was his idol, and it's just such a cool thing. So I love that. I love that dynamic. Look, one other little point I want to point out: they also announced King Queen in Saudi Arabia in May. That's happening. That's the first I've actually seen the official announcement of that. So I think that's probably noteworthy as well, because that's going to be pretty cool. Overall, guys, this was a fantastic episode, and I really enjoyed it. I think you should go watch it. Like, I think you should watch it. It's probably one of the best episodes of Raw that we've had in the past few weeks. I'm not saying that the other episodes weren't good. I'm just saying that this was a fantastic, it was loaded. It was loaded with just awesomeness. So, first episode of the Juicy Bits. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I apologize for all the sweat. The sweat was kind of distracting from my flow a little bit, but that's okay. Don't let that keep you from giving me a thumbs up and subscribing if you're new here. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care, and I'll catch you next time for some more Juicy Bits.